Hey everybody, surprise! A little coaching with the soul on Tuesday at 2. So I just wanted to come on and I'm going to post this again on all my socials. So don't worry if you're not on here now, okay? So Spirit wanted me to talk about today our own expectations and understanding why things don't work out the way that they're supposed to work out, okay? So first thing he wants to talk about is this, is that in all of our workplaces, right, there are people who we're always on teams or we are in a workplace, even in families, right? And understanding that that everybody's at a different pace, right? Understanding that not everybody is you, okay? Spirit's been talking about this for I've had clients probably the last couple of weeks who have all had these type of questions, okay? That they don't understand how, let's say they're in supervision, okay? And they don't understand how employee number 5 doesn't work as hard or is not as conscious as employee number 2, okay? And or how come employee number 10 doesn't do all the things that employee number 5 does, okay? And that's the same way in a family, right? And if you are in supervision, if you are the manager, if you are in a leadership space, right? Even if you're not, right? I know, Spirit is like yapping. Understanding that if you're not in a leadership space, that you have to understand your capacity. Sorry guys, allergies. You have to understand your capacity, okay? And you can't get down on yourself if you don't do it as quick as somebody else because that's not who you are, okay? Don't let anybody tell you if you tried harder, well, how do you know how hard I'm trying? Your perception is that I'm not trying. And that is if you are trying, right? If you're doing the best job that you can possibly do at your job, right? And if you are in supervision, it is all about making your employees, the people that work under you, to be more conscious, right? That you are a boss with a heart, right? That you make sure that you understand that player A, player 1, player 5, player 8, player 10 are not the same people, okay? That you cannot have a workplace full of you. It's impossible. You kill each other, right? Right? It works both ways. That how do I supervise all these 10 people, let's say, and treat them all the same? You do that by understanding you have A players, B players, and C players. Can't have all A's because it will be a mutiny against you as the supervisor. B players are good. They pick up the slack in a lot of instances of the A players. C players are even better because they really pick up for everybody. Okay? So it is super, super important to understand that if you are in supervision, that you look at your people with kindness. Ooh, big time, right? That's been the whole thing the last couple of weeks. With a heart, with kindness, and understanding that everybody is doing, usually, the best that they can. And understanding that you can pull them in, you can have conversations, but they're only going to be as good as they are this lifetime, okay? Same way with families, right? Those of you who are parents, you know that child A and child B and child C and child D are totally different, right? And understanding that child C may not do what child A, B, and D did, right? And it's okay. Have a bar, but understand that your children are like employees, right? If you lead with your heart, if you have a conversation with somebody in the workplace or at home, okay, it has to be in a tone of voice with no emotion that you can actually get your point across. And that's with children. That's with spouses. That's with employees, right? And understanding that you have to look at all the different dynamics of what's going on in your situation, right? That you have to make sure that you are conscious of exactly the energy that's going on, right? Child 1, child 2, child 3, child 4, child 5, child 8, right? Employees 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 8, right? You have to be that person who's compassionate and understanding there are rules, yes, there's boundaries, yes, but leading with a kind heart is so very, 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 very important, okay? Especially with everything that we've gone through and everything that we're going into with COVID and with the changeover in energy in our country and things like that. But there's still 71 million people who don't all believe the way that I and others like me believe, right? But that all ties in. You cannot separate that because we live in the United States, right? So you have to really make sure that when you are having those conversations, let's say you're having conversations with your spouse, there is no emotion there. There can't be crying. There could be a little bit of being upset, but no yelling, right? No anything. Because if you're a female and you're talking to a guy, he's going to shut down. Guaranteed. Okay? The more a woman or man cries, the other person, if they're male, has two instincts: to comfort you, number one, and then not understand afterwards why you needed him to comfort you. Okay? Same way with females, right? If the male is having a conversation with you about what he's not getting, right? Having a conversation and making sure that it is black and white. There's no gray area. And I'll give you an example, okay? Okay. So female wants to have a conversation with her fiance and about she's not receiving what she wants to receive, but she's very emotional, okay? Because she doesn't understand why he doesn't stick around, because they live with each other, right? Why he's always off and about doing whatever he's doing, seeing his parents and seeing his friends and hanging out with his buddies and stuff like that. And she doesn't understand that her tone of voice and her energy are one of anger and frustration, as you would do with your children. Only children can't run away until they can, right? So it's very, very, very important that if you need to have a conversation with the man in your life, even if it's two women together, the female in your life, it needs to be adult, okay? It needs to be where you have already thought out exactly what you're going to say. You need to have a plan where you absolutely stick to the script as much as you possibly can and let them understand that I don't feel like I'm being loved. I don't feel like I'm getting what I need. And I need you to do this. I need you to this. I need you to do this. Not if you love me, you'll do it. Not anything like that at all. There's no consequences. There's no threats. There's no working on the heartstrings. No. This is what I need from you. Okay? Understanding that if the other person loves you and they're able to give it to you, see, that's the point. See, that's what it's all about, right? Is that other person capable of giving you what you actually need? If they don't, if they're not able to, well, it's on you, right? You have to exit the relationship because they're not able to give you what you need. And anybody who goes through life in a relationship where the other person is not able or willing to give you what you need, it's exit stage right? You don't deserve that. That's not what it's about. It's not what it's about at all. It's making sure that you understand that you deserve the way that you want to be loved is how you're going to be loved, right? and then actively work on yourself, actively make sure that you work on your emotions, that you find out why you're that emotional, why you feel abandoned, why you feel all these different things, right? Right? Same way with supervision, guys. It's the same way with supervision. You want your people to feel like you care. And you should care, right? Right? Because it's a team. You have to make sure that you are treating them not like family, because family can be disastrous, right? But with compassion and understanding that if someone is not doing at the level that you believe they can do, that you have a conversation, right? Right? It's not, again, it's tone of voice. It doesn't matter if you're angry. Some instances, again, you can't help that if somebody's being hurt or whatever, right? But in most cases, it doesn't get that way. It's understanding that your tone of voice, what you say is everything. Because that employee is probably scared to death. Either they're going to lose their job or oh my God, you don't know what has happened in their lifetimes, right? You don't know. See? So it's very, very, it's all kind of the same ball, Spirit says. It's about the way that you treat other people and then that in turn, comes back to you and because of your energy, right? You're treated the same exact way with respect, with understanding. Again, from your spouse, right? From your children, from your supervisor, from people around you at work, right? Even your friends, right? Getting rid of friends that are dead weight as you evolve, as you understand that who you are, and as you grow as a human, and as your energy shifts, there is no reason in the world why you should feel guilty for cutting somebody loose, okay? But having that conversation about the friendship, right? And laying it on the line. If they're able to understand that, that's fine. If they're not, I have to do this for me. It's the same way with family, right? Understanding that not all of our family is supposed to move with us into the future. That can be children that are grown, right? That can be parents as the children have grown. Can be friends you've had since high school, things like that, right? So Spirit is really focused on this for the past couple of weeks, is doing it with compassion, doing it with heart, especially as we go into Thanksgiving and going into Christmas, and understanding that keeping our mouth shut is not an option when it comes to how we feel in love. Okay? It's not an option at all. Because every person deserves to be loved the way that they need to be loved, as long as it's functional. Okay? If you expect somebody to rescue you, you have to exit a relationship and work on yourself. Because guess what? There's rescuers and there's persecutors. And many times you can't tell the difference between them. Okay? And if you are with somebody who rescues you, what are you learning? Nothing. They're not supposed to rescue you. And vice versa. You're not supposed to rescue them. See? It's growing together and understanding that we have a partnership. Chimes. See? Understanding that it doesn't serve either one of us. And the same way in a job, right? If you are a supervisor and you have an employee who isn't up to your standard, well, how high is your standard? Number one. Number two, understand you have A, B, and C players, because you need that. Not everybody can be at octave 10 all the time. It's impossible to do, right? It's not possible, right? And understanding that yourself and going, okay, I understand, I have all my players in place, and I need to make sure that they all get nurtured the right way. But they also have conversations with you in the same way, right? Back and forth. understanding that the way that you speak to your employees, the energy that you give to your employees, it has to be the same as you give your children, as long as you're functional, as long as you're not dysfunctional, right? Understanding that it is so very, very important because it's energy you're putting out to the world, right? Right? Okay. So don't, I know Spirit, he says, never excuse somebody. Never excuse a partner for something that they don't give to you. Never excuse bad behavior. Spirit says, never excuse what you need from them by saying, well, you know what? They're not really able to give me that. Then why are you there? If they're not able to give you love and compassion the way you need it to be, right? Or finding a compromise, right? Right? That's what you have to do. That's what I've done. That's what I've done in my relationship. I have a compromise. I need certain things and I need you to know what I need. He agreed, right? He's not that guy. But he was agreeable to what I needed. I need hugs and kisses. I need you to show me that you you love me. There's nothing dysfunctional about that. He said the other day, you need to be needed. Well, yes, I do. That's who I am this lifetime. I help people. That's who I am. But understanding who I am, right? In a functional way. So next time you have employees that you need to have a conversation with, the next time that you have to have a conversation with your spouse, your boyfriend, your girlfriend, whatever it might be, right? Always make sure that you know what you're going to say. Always make sure that your tone of voice is proper, right? Always make sure that you talk to Spirit out loud and say, I need you to help me with this. And you have that conversation with, I need you to keep me balanced. I need you to help me keep me stable. Things like that. Understanding how the other person might react to you, right? Okay, well, if that's the case, if they're going to react to you like that, it's about them and how do you disarm them, right? How do you still get what you want? Maybe not that one conversation, but over time. Same way with employees, right? Yeah. So next time, guys, that you need to have those conversations even with an employee with supervisors, things like that, going in with the right attitude, even if the supervisor doesn't, okay? It's the way it is, see? Because sometimes supervisors aren't in the right position, just like moms and dads. But moms and dads have to learn how to be in the right position because that's their job, okay? So thanks, everybody. Spirit want to talk about that. I've got something else we're going to talk about probably on Thursday, if not tomorrow. So I'll see everybody later for Coaching for the Soul. Thanks, guys.